Hey, what's good everyone? Today, Xtreme Solos is now back in rotation, and I am, for one, keen to try it out one more time, as it's one of the most anticipated shows in this show selector. Probably already familiar with how the show works, but why it is so hyped up for is that it has a reward of 2 crowns, and it is extremely challenging as you cannot respawn anymore, which is really powerful on certain levels, and more on that later. This level is not one of them, unfortunately. It's too bad we didn't get any of the other good ones, but 2 crowns as a reward is very nice indeed. But the respawning, a lot of players can be eliminated within 1 round, which typically doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen in solos or ranked or anything of the sort. But Xtreme Solos is really potent because you really have to develop another playstyle to end up not being griefed by another player or just falling off the map completely by a mistake. So it's a really serious change to how you play, and the reward for qualifying is that hopefully lots of other players will be eliminated in the process, which on certain levels does matter a lot, especially levels like Big Fans, Slime Climbers, and I just missed the slide. That's unfortunate. But as you witnessed from that previous level, the respawning is really effective. As you just saw, I'm just eliminated just like that, no second chances, no nothing. I have to build up a new game. So I'm not too mad at that because it was only round 2, but every round it seems is now 4 levels. So griefing isn't nearly as worth it as it used to be on the first release of this show, but it's still something that you can definitely take to use. So no respawning is really effective. Unfortunately, we don't see so much of it on Gate Crash because there's only one place where you have to respawn, which is really effective. But on certain maps like Big Fans especially, the most notorious one, as well as Roll Off and probably a couple others, there are a lot of places where you can definitely fall and make a mistake or get grabbed off. Unfortunately, I did not see the fan. I need to wake up. Qualifying from levels that have such high risk being eliminated gives such big reward that there are so few players you have to compete against in future rounds, which so far I'm not doing too good a job at doing, but believe me, we'll get a win, we'll make it to a final, we'll make it to... But I just need to get back into my Fall Guys arc and start playing the game properly, which so far I'm not doing at all. Okay, this is embarrassing. But making it to the final, where everything is won and lost overalls, and there are a lot of good players playing this show, so you shouldn't be too surprised if the final is the most trickiest part, because there are a lot of good players I'm seeing in this lobby and all the lobbies I've been playing in. So qualifying from all the levels is not simply a job done, you've got to qualify through the final as well. So it's essentially a trade-off for, if you win the show you get 2 crowns, but you get the added challenge of no respawning, and everyone in the lobby is pretty much a good player. So for someone who's very experienced and skilled at the game, this is a show to absolutely grind for wins, for crowns, which I reckon I will do a fair bit this week. The show lasts until next Tuesday, so that'll keep myself busy. And I do like the added challenge of no respawning. It's something that you don't see anywhere else. The challenge of having no respawns allowed and having double the rewards is very... It makes it... really defines what makes it a great show, and probably the best in the show selector. And I think everyone will agree that that is completely true. And personally, I'm going to play it by myself. But I'm considering doing a stream for it here. This type of content does appeal to everyone who watches this. I wanted to be careful, I'm not going to do it the normal way. But the streaming this show does seem of interest to you. I'm considering doing it on Twitch, if I do. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Also let me know what this style of video is like for you, because this is my first time trying it. I have nothing scripted out, this is complete wingle. I'm interested to hear what you think of this style of video. We have this Kraken slamming. Well, seems all but peaceful on the other side of this map. But in terms of the final itself, it's very much the same as it normally is, it's just all survival rounds. The only finals which aren't involved are, I believe it's only just Lost Temple and Full Mountain which are excluded. There are no creative rounds in this show, which will be to my delight at least. I don't know if it would be to anyone else's. That's essentially what that show is. Okay, no one seems friendly at all over here. Yes. It's very hard to down this map, so I expect this will last a long time. How are you finding this Xtreme Solo Show if you're playing it? I'm interested here how you're finding it. It's very different to what it was because now only 32 players can play this show, which does really limit the potency of the show. Don't have 50 players dying on big fans round 1 anymore. That's not happening. So, very curious to see how that'll turn out. I'm anticipating the end of this final when all 4 platforms go up because I'm not prepared to survive what comes up at that point. And I know that there are strategies to... I thought I failed that. Never mind. There are strategies to survive the 4 platforms tipping up, which I'm not prepared for. So, it'll be interesting to give that a try. But it'll be no other word, winging it. Okay, here we go. See how these players do it. Oh, they didn't know how to do it fine. But I was going to die from bats, so I kind of got lucky there. But guess we take those. I need to learn that before it doesn't pay off at all. If you want to run crimes as fast as possible, this is the show for it. The second place show for this, if it still exists, is hard mode. I don't know if that show still exists. Maybe it does. But like Xtreme Show, this also gives 2 crowns as a reward for winning. except you are allowed respawning, unlike in Xtreme Show. I'm not sure if that show still exists, let me know if it does. But this Xtreme Show takes the #1 spot for grinding crowns. But I think that's all I've got to say about this show. We've got to be careful here. Okay, we're good. I don't think I have anything more to say about this show. I think I've explained everything I want to. But something which I haven't seen before is that after you complete the season pass, you get a gold egg, which is very neat. I do appreciate that. You do get 200 free bucks, show bucks from the free pass. And I've used those show bucks on top of already in the bank show bucks to buy the season pass, which if you do want the best value for your show bucks, buy the season pass because you get all of your show bucks back, which is already a brilliant deal, and you get all the cosmetics in that season pass, which are far greater than that of the free pass. Interesting, they have a whole load of new cosmetics, which include, if you hold down 2 different buttons, you get emotes, banners, and different phrases, which I haven't seen before. So, I'm not really using either of those cosmetics too much. It's only really in special circumstances, say, if we time out a final, I do want to give my gratitude to the other player for having the respect to time out the show. Or if someone wants my attention, or if I recognise another player, then I'll do such a thing. So, my use of those cosmetics is very limited, but I guess happy to see that they're there. Okay, a lot of people got Call of God just like me in first try. That was kind of crazy. But there's a whole load of them in the game which I have missed out on, including like this one, which, not gonna lie, I kind of would like to get myself, but I bet it's not happening until it appears in the shop rotation, just because of how obnoxious it is. So you could just spam it if you do get grabbed by a player to show your frustration. I like that idea, but nothing that I'll be bothered about, because it doesn't affect the game itself. The Love You one is very nice itself too. But again, nothing I'm too serious about. And next round is the final. Oops. Well, piggybacking is also an game which is kind of funny because you can do all sorts of junk just like that guy did to that bird. Just don't get piggybacked. You can play the level yourself. Maybe if you trust someone or have a friend who's much better at the game, then I guess maybe do that. But yeah, for the reason that you just saw, just don't. Just play the game. That was kind of funny. I'm also pleased that we got Dragon Slam a second time, considering the extent we had to go to eliminate every player until one person was standing. I'm not confident with my ability to replicate that a second time. But I guess it is what it is. We get to have a second try doing whatever the timeout strategy is. This lobby seems completely peaceful apart from that one grabber. that we saw. So I guess we'll just be waiting until all 4 of the platforms tilt up. In mixed rotation, I believe, is when all 4 of these platforms tilt up. I'm scared. Unfortunate. GG's to Garou Nail. I don't know if that's how you say the name. GG's. I'll have to do some thorough research if I'm ever going to be able to do that. Or just a lot of practice. That's something I do want to have on my Return to Fall Guys checklist. Got roll on here. It seems all but peaceful so far. There is no massive grabbers. That may be given that I'm in first place right now, but it's consistently very peaceful in all the rounds that I've played so far, which I guess I would take. Lowers the risk of being eliminated before the final, which I think every player will take. If you did see the last video, you'll have seen that I've completed Ranked Knockout, ranked to get to Superstar. On the topic of ranked, I would have thought that one more thing that they could add into ranked would be a leaderboard, and to show the actual top players who have probably the highest elo or whatever the currency is for ranking up into the higher ranks. I don't know what it's called. I think that would be something everyone would be very interested to see who is the best of the best. I'm going to play it safe. Like I paid the price for it, unfortunate. I can wait a rotation. Seemingly, everyone seems to qualify that it's required to, but this one seems to be an exception. 15 out of 15 players qualified on the last roll-on. 3 extra players died in this round, and 8 out of 11 qualified. So because that can completely happen, speed and precision are completely necessary for qualifying through these rounds, especially in these highly competitive lobbies, like every single server that I'm going into. But it isn't so problematic if you know what you're doing. I got really lucky with that pipe launch, unlike another player. We'll take those. As typical, I always try to go for first place. It's a great habit to go for the speedruns. I think my most concentrated playlist is all gold rounds, which those ones are kind of dead because all rounds are only 4 rounds long. Being able to speedrun levels will naturally also help you improve at the game in general. So that's also kind of the reasons why I'm on the level why I'm at. Okay, I was hoping that we could try and time up, but there's one little player that seems to not agree with that. I'll give this guy some space because he's very respectable. Unlike this guy, it seems. But back onto the topic of ranked. A global leaderboard is very interesting, at least in my opinion. I don't know about you. I think the overall basis is that everyone wants to know who's the best player. Myself for one, I am. Okay, this is going to be a close final, I can already tell, based on how equal everyone is with their tiles and their tile islands. I think we might have to come down to a brawl in the end of this final. In terms of how we could see that, I do have an idea to make it balanced in terms of people's time and their ability to actually play the game, given that people could play for 24 hours, 7 days a week, and they could just be the number one player due to that. So what I was thinking is that there'd be a limit to the number of days that a player could play. And let's say in order to qualify for the league board, you have to reach the superstar rank. Then you get access to like 8 placement days where you can play the ranked knockout, and it'd be essentially the same as regular ranked knockout, but your glory adds up to the total amount for that day, and after a certain period, whoever has the highest glory will be placed on the leaderboard, and the person with the highest glory will be the number one player in the leaderboard. So I think that's something Epic Games can definitely implement, but I don't expect it to happen, considering that Ranked is just developed as is. So it's an idea. Yes. Let me know your thoughts on it. Maybe if we spread the word, it might come out to Epic Games. So, interesting topic. This final is short to end. I don't know how long we have until the level itself times out. Right now it's do or die. I'm going to cut away at the borders. Never mind, because we have someone who's running all the tiles as much as they can. Okay. Pilbarando is imminent on taking care of this guy, which I respect that completely. But no idea how long it will take for the level to time out. But I'm going to want to focus up right now. Oops. I have a feeling he might try to grab me because I've got this guy. I don't think there's anything I could do about that. He just played poor. And the level just timed out a few seconds later. GG's to everyone that timed out, but kind of disappointing that that happened. But regardless, the competition is going to be very intense. Whether or not one really good player dies or two, everyone probably has an equal chance of winning this game, because that's how high the skill level of this lobby is. We're one slam climb away from another final. I'm once again praying that it's not another Kraken slam. I have to wait for this fan, otherwise if I run into its same direction, I will be blown off. Got another hexagon and we have 5 players. If everyone does, well, it's so, a timeout is definitely possible. So, this time I have a timer on my phone and we do have a runner, unfortunately. So, it may not be possible, but looks like everyone else is already onto that. Okay, it looks like this guy has come down now, so I think he gets remembered that we're timing out. So. Okay, perhaps not. I think that was the right thing to do to cut him off. I'm going to try and keep this space as long as possible so that if someone does come over here, I don't think anyone will, but so that they have the space to use these tiles as efficiently as possible, because that is what everyone is trying to go for. I have a timer up, we have 1 minute left, we can most definitely do this. And several of the other players are already adamant on getting rid of that one runner, which absolute respect to those players. They know what it means to time out. Interesting, because there is a timer on Kraken Slam despite it being designed to eliminate everyone inevitably, but not on the hexagon. Okay, we have 20 seconds left. I think we're chilling. Oh, they got him. Great job to those players, and GG's to everyone. Respect to everyone who timed out. Getting a nice 5,068 crowns. We'll end it on a win. But let me know what you think of this style of video. Okay. Follow me on Twitch, because I might stream some more of these Xtreme Solos, depending on how I feel. Have a lovely day, I'll catch you all later.